You have seen a bird fly. You have even seen a dragon fly. Hell, you have even seen a house fly. But you have never seen an elephant fly. Let's get ready to review Dumbo! Stick around for the review. What's up, Universe, and welcome back to the web's first must-see comic and nerd culture show. Welcome to Comic Universe, guys. I'm one of your hosts, as always, C-Dubs, and as you guys can see, I'm riding solo on this video. Well, kind of. Mikey's in the background sleeping under his blanket. You can kind of see over there on the couch. So, guys, I went and saw Dumbo with the wife this past weekend. Just got around to making the review. I know I'm a little late to the party. This movie is just the latest installment to Disney's rehashing of some of their old stories told in live action, if you will. Most of these movies have been huge successes for Disney in terms of financial and even in terms of critical. For the most part, the audience have seemed to enjoy most of these movies, and I don't think we're going to stop going to see them just because of a few bad apples here and there. Overall, I think this experiment that they have been doing has been a huge success for them. And we're not going to get it to stop anytime soon. So if you don't like them, I'm sorry. So, Dumbo is the latest installment. 2019's Dumbo is directed by Tim Burton. Yes, that Tim Burton, if you will. You know, the one from Batman Returns and Big Fish, if you will. Alice in Wonderland fame. So, Tim Burton has gotten together with Penguin and Batman yet again in a film. He has brought back together Danny DeVito and Michael Keaton in this film, both of which are some of the best parts of this film. But as always, guys, I'm going to give you the good, I'm going to give you the bad, and I'm going to give you the badass as well. Top it off with our score and let you know if you guys should go see it, if you haven't already. So, guys, the 2019 Dumbo is not necessarily just a story about Dumbo. The original film was only about an hour and a few minutes long. I think it was like 10-15 minutes long. So there wasn't a lot of meat and potatoes, if you will, to the original Dumbo story. I can tell you this, as someone who does enjoy the original film, it is sappy to all hell. It is one of my kryptonites. It's a movie that can make me cry, and I hate that about that movie. That was my biggest fear going into this. I just didn't want to cry. I wanted to enjoy the movie. I didn't want to feel sad. Not that I had mommy issues, but my mom is no longer with me, so I just didn't want to feel that. I just wasn't looking forward to that. But I gotta say, if it wasn't in there, this movie would not have been faithful, if you will. So I understand it needed to be there, and I want to tell you that it was, but it wasn't overdone. In fact, it was slightly underdone, and I personally, since I didn't want it too much, appreciated that, but I can definitely see anyone going into this film not getting that full-on emotional roller coaster that they got with the original film. There's a lot of callbacks to the original, a lot of touches and nostalgia feels with this movie, so you're going to definitely get that. That's actually some of the best parts of the film. Again, like I said, Danny DeVito and Michael Keaton crush it. Danny DeVito is the circus top man. He is the guy in charge, basically. This movie actually revolves around Colin Farrell and his children. Colin Farrell is a returning war hero coming back from the war, and when he comes back, he is missing an arm. He and his wife were the draw, the big top attraction of this circus before he went off to the war, and essentially, he came back, and unfortunately, influenza had hit the circus really hard, and his wife had passed away. And it's probably one of the reasons why he came back early, not to mention he's also missing an arm. That could be another reason why he came back from the war early. But we never really fully get the reasoning for it, or if the war is over, or whatever the case may be. He's just back, and he's dealing with, the loss of his wife, having to raise his 2 kids on his own. In addition to that, he's missing an arm, and he's probably got some, PTSD as well. But unfortunately for this film, they do not focus enough on Colin Farrell, which I actually would have appreciated getting a little more into his psyche. You just kind of get that they're kind of leaning towards some of these issues that he's dealing with, having a hard time, being a single father, not being the star attraction anymore, not actually having a job, being given the cruddy jobs around the circus, because that's really all they have for him. See, they sold his horses to help pay for things. Again, he is, unfortunately, to a certain degree, disabled. So, there's only a limited amount of work that he is absolutely able to do. So they actually put him in charge of raising and training the elephants, if you will. They just purchased a brand new elephant who happened to be pregnant And the whole idea for the circus moving forward is the star attraction. It's going to be this brand new baby bundle of joy. But especially in those days and ages, guys, as you know, the circus can be filled with oddities, and Dumbo comes out with his big ears, of course. And right off the bat, they kind of criticize him and think that he is too much of an oddity to be considered a unique bundle of joy, if you will. And I found that kind of crazy because Dumbo is hands down the cutest thing you've ever seen in a Disney film. My God, this thing, I just wanted to hug him, squeeze him, and cuddle him and call him George and make him my very own. If you get that reference, I know I kind of butchered it, but you are the man, or woman in this case. So guys, the good. Some of the acting. Again, Danny DeVito, Michael Keaton. You know these guys. They're top notch. Especially Danny DeVito, man. He eats this movie up. He is the heart and soul of this movie. It's not Dumbo. It's not Mrs. Jumbo. It's not the kids. It's not Colin Farrell. It is Danny DeVito. He, in the beginning half of this movie, his scrappy take on this guy trying to hold it together and be a leader for this ragtag group of people sells the movie for me. Like, he really did. I would have just watched it even if Dumbo had not been in the movie. And it was just about these circus guys and Danny DeVito was the star. Sold. Great. I would watch that movie 100 times over. That's how good he was in this role. Now, another big part of the really good stuff here is the nostalgia. And I'll actually save some of that for the badass part because that's probably the best part. Dumbo, it's all inspiring. It's wonderful to see him fly, to see him soar through the air the first time you see it. It's like you had never seen it before. Obviously, we've seen it in the animated version, but this was a whole different take. Dumbo does learn how to fly right off the bat really early in the film. So we do kind of, I mean, he's not like a pro at it by any stretch of the means, but we do get to see him do it pretty quickly. And that actually is the intricate part of the film where I think some of the bad starts to hit. And it's not Dumbo. It's actually, unfortunately, the children of this film. Now, I know there's been a lot of reviews out there saying that Nico Parker, the young lady in the film, the daughter of Colin Farrell's character, was kind of a big shining moment. I really didn't get that. Like, she's really cute. She's almost adorable. I see what she was going for, and it could have been great. But she just kind of seemed like just this lackluster character that didn't seem any emotion. And to kind of put into perspective, and I'm not bashing this young lady, she has got a bright, bright future ahead of her. But her mom's passed away. And again, these are a lot of things for a young lady, especially the oldest sibling, to deal with. I've been in her situation, okay? So I can understand it being all twisted up inside and being hard to express yourself. But at some point, there would be some sort of a breaking point. Again, her mom has passed away. You know, her dad has come back from the war and is missing an arm and is struggling with help raising them and finding their place. She's being pressured to have picked up a talent to be able to be a performer in the circus when all she wants to do is be what seems to be maybe a veterinarian. She really loves the animals. She's really into science and loves science. I guess by the end of the movie, we kind of see the direction she's going in, and it's not, veterinarian, but again, that's up for debate, what her true calling is. But she's getting pressured from everyone in the circus, including her father. Then she, befriends Dumbo. They treat him terrible. Dumbo's, if you've already seen the animated movie, or if you haven't, spoiler alert, Mrs. Jumbo is taken away from Dumbo, if you will. She doesn't seem too sad about that. She says she's sad about that and believes it to be wrong. She just doesn't portray it. And unfortunately, we fall into a case where the child actors are child actors, and a lot of times they don't live up to their full potential or expectation. And sometimes it could just be a difference between the director and the child, too. Sometimes it's not the child's fault. It's what the director's trying to pull from that child. Maybe he doesn't understand them or understand how children really are. I can't say for sure because I've never really seen her in anything else, but I do think she's got something there. She's unique enough to look at and see, so I think she'll have a bright future. But again, she's one of the weaker sides to this film, unfortunately. And the movie does focus a little bit too much on them from time to time. They do take on the role of Timothy the Mouse. If you know the mouse from the original animated movie, He makes a cameo in this film a few times. He does not speak. There's no racist crows, which is very good on you. Thank you, Disney, for not pulling that one out. But Dumbo doesn't talk. Jumbo doesn't talk. We don't get any talking animals, so that's fine. We do get the feather, being the reason Dumbo thinks he can fly, which is pretty awesome. Glad they kept to that. And overall, it was genuinely pretty good. Now, time for the badass guys. All right, so first and foremost, Dumbo is the cutest thing, like I said. That's absolutely awesome. Seeing him fly is breathtaking, especially the first few times you see him actually soar. There are some changes to the actual story, so if you've seen the animated movie, this is not that movie. There is definitely liberties taken and more meat and potatoes filled in with the human characters, which we did not get in that film. Again, the original film's only like an hour and a few minutes long. This is definitely a lot longer than that. Badass scenes. Alright, guys, so there's a competing, I don't want to say circus, but a competing upstate New York type of ordeal going on. I would actually call it a version of Disney World, if you will, or Disneyland. It's called Dream World or Dreamland. I don't remember exactly. But this is in the mind of Tim Burton, a weird steampunk extravaganza theme park. It's just so badass. We're talking giant Ferris wheels with 2 wheels on them, spinning at the same time while they're rotating. You have rocket roller coasters. Everything looks awesome. You have this really haunted horror island themed, attraction where all the animals have been dressed up to look like terrifying, even more horror versions of themselves or monsters from myth and legend. You have like a wolf with shredded clothes to make him seem like he was a werewolf. We have this alligator with spikes and horns that were crazy glued to him. I don't want to say crazy glued, just on him, strapped to him or whatnot. These giant Kodiak bears that are just massive monsters. Absolutely cool stuff. Great ideas. Unfortunately, there's a little too much, hint towards animal abuse, which really does strike me in the heart because I hate animal abuse. But we're on the badass part, so we're not going to focus too much on that. So this world that he creates, was absolutely fantastic. I would want to go there over Disney World any day of the week. That's how cool this place looked. We do get the elephants on parade scene, but it's not from any intoxication or being high, drunk, or anything like that. It's actually an event that they put on. It's a show they put on in the circus itself or in Dream World, made with bubbles, music, and like lights, and it's absolutely wicked. We don't get any lyrics to the song playing, but you do get the symphony playing, the elephants on parade, and you get to see Dumbo's reaction to it, his bright-eyed and bobbing his head to it, so you really can get into the groove of knowing the song, and it's fantastic. I loved it. It was the scene I was looking forward to the most. The train in the very beginning of the film, the music is playing, and Danny DeVito actually hums the music from the opening credits of Dumbo. And we don't necessarily get the I think I can, I thought I could, I was really hoping for that, but the actual train looks like it has a smile and everything. I loved it. It was very whimsical, very great. It was superb, to be honest with you. Some of the ragtag misfits of the circus were pretty cool, pretty funny as well. The strong man, the heavyset woman who wants to be a mermaid, she was pretty funny. The Indian snake charmer, he was really endearing. I really liked him. He was really cool. He was kind of like the heart and soul to this ragtag group of guys, though not necessarily to the movie, just you could see he was the one that cared a lot about the animals and just kind of always kept them on the straight and narrow, if you will. There's this really freaking crazy monkey that keeps messing with Danny DeVito, which was really funny. But overall, guys, I gotta say, Dumbo 2019 live action animated, even though the Rotten Tomatoes score is not doing it any justice, but who cares about Rotten Tomatoes anymore? But just in case you still do, to be honest, it is sitting at a 49%, so it is certified rotten. But that's crap. It was a lot better than it deserves any credit for. It was just the nostalgia, the whimsicalness of it all makes it worth it. Eva Green's performance as a high rope, kind of like the Robbins, if you will, tightrope, swinging, gymnastics type of character. She was really cool. The Metacritic score actually has it at a 51%, user score at 5.6, and the audience score for Rotten Tomatoes was a 59. So it's sitting somewhere in the middle for most audiences. Disney just has put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths as of late, whether just cause or not. So I do think this might be suffering somewhat from some of the backlashes, maybe from your Captain Marvels, even though Captain Marvel's not suffering from it at all. But again, I don't know for sure, but definitely go out, check it out for yourself. I would give it a solid 3.5. Oh yes, one other really awesome thing. So my opening line, if you will, to the video, my intro, was the let's get ready to review Dumbo, and it was kind of in the vein of let's get ready to rumble. And that's because freaking Michael Buffer is in this film, and he is the ring announcer for Dreamworld. And he gets on the mic and he's like, let's get ready to watch Dumbo. And I was dying. It was the funniest thing. And, being an old school wrestling guy and boxing guy, watching Michael Buffer over the years, it was such a great thing to see him there and to see him still getting some work for just, his few lines, if you will. It was absolutely great, guys. So go ahead and check it out for yourselves. Come back, let us know if you liked it, hated it, loved it, whatever the case may be. Guys, don't forget to Hulk smash the hell out of that like button. Smash it like you mean it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Become part of the universe. It's the only way you'll know whenever we drop a video, by clicking that little bell icon, guys. We do everything from live video game streaming to movie reviews, comic book reviews. We do some fan fiction, nerd out concepts and things like that here on the channel as well. So if you're a fan of any of that or know anybody that is, let them know about us, guys. We're trying to grow and have a positive platform for nerds like you and I to enjoy. And guys, until next time, I'm C-Dubs, and I'll see you in the universe. Peace.